Well, we learnt one thing after round 16, and that's that it's all over for the Buffaloes in season 2014-15. Disappointing news for them, but exciting news for other teams. St Mary's continued their winning ways, and Waratah broke through for their second win of the season, the first win for coach Tim Wetherill. Round 16, great, another interesting round of footy in the NTFL.
Terrific, wasn't it? We saw St Mary's win again, of course, and we saw Wanderers go down, which was a big surprise.
Yeah, they were very surprising, and they were absolutely destroyed at the hands of the Tiwi Bombers. And one man that was absolutely superb during the win was Ross Tungatulum. As we roll the vision, we can see here that he was back to his brilliant best. We saw him destroying the Wanderers at the contest, snapping goals where he felt necessary, and he really had a prolific influence on the contest. But one thing I want to bring up, Gray, is he a chance for the Nichols medal? Let's have a look at some of the stats here. 2012, the Tiwi Bombers premiership year versus 2015. We can see here that in 2012 he finished in the best 11 times, whereas 2015 he's on 9 times with 2 games to go, Gray. Is he a chance of winning the Nichols medal?
He is indeed. In fact, a lot of people at the Tiwi say without him firing, the club does not fire. So it's Ross Tungatulum or bust.
Well, he is a very important cog in the Tiwi Bombers outfit, and they'll need him to fire this weekend when they play the Palmerston Magpies in a real crunch battle, 4th versus 5th, and we'll see that live on AFLN TV. Palmerston and the Tiwi Bombers, Gray, how do you see it panning out?
Easily the match of the round. Both sides have to win if they're going to make the finals. Palmerston with their long kicking type game, the Tiwis of course running and chipping, it'll be a terrific contest. But I think the Magpies might get them, though.
Really? Surprised to hear that. I think the Bombers have been in good form. I'm going to pick the Bombers, but what makes you say the Magpies, Grant?
I think the Tiwis were given way too much space against Wanderers. I mean, you and I watched that game. Palmerston will be very close to them, play them hard, and I reckon they'll let the players to kick enough goals too.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. And as we mentioned before, Gray, Wanderers were the team that went down to the Bombers, and they really got hammered. Now suddenly outside the 5 with a huge game against Nightcliff on Saturday.
Big game for them. They have to win and rely on other sides losing around them as well. They will make some changes this week, and they're going to have to, because as you said, Dave, they were awful.
And Nightcliff, they've also got a little bit of work to do after the weekend. They were competitive, but a first quarter blitz from St Mary's really put the game beyond doubt, didn't it?
You're right, they weren't good, and they need to start winning too on the eve of the finals. So we're in for a great weekend of footy.
Nightcliff versus Wanderers, and another game that's coming up. We've spoken about the Saints and their milestone men. They take on Waratah, so both of these two teams find themselves in winning form. It's something that we could say about Waratah for the first time in a number of weeks, Gray.
I was near the Waratah's coaching box on Saturday, and I can tell you Tim Wetherill was a relieved man when he walked out. The biggest smile I've ever seen on a human being's face. His first win as coach of Waratahs, and you're right, they'll rate themselves some sort of chance against St Mary's.
That game at Gardens, Waratah's any chance at Gardens? Do you think that ground plays a part in deciding this match, Craig?
Well, it doesn't really, because St Mary's play Gardens over so well. They don't worry about going wide, they go straight down the middle, and I think that's what's going to work for them again.
Well, interesting game, that one, and of course the last game that we haven't mentioned, Southern Districts taking on Buffalo. Both of these two teams had very disappointing losses for the club. In Districts' case, they lost to the bottom side, while for the Buffaloes it was a loss that's cost them a chance at playing in the finals, Greg.
But the Buffaloes were very, very good against Palmerston, led until the last minute, as we saw. And the week before only lost to St Mary's by about 10 points, I think. So they've had a terrific year under Mark Botlop, and they'll want to go out as winners against Districts, who, as you said, have found a bit of a roadblock in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Not quite sure why, because they've still got the playing personnel out there, but they just aren't winning and they aren't playing good football.
Shannon Rusker must be a very nervous man at this time of the year. He's really struggled in the finals to find wins for Southern Districts. Have you spoken to Shannon at all?
I haven't had a chance to, but you're right. It seems that at this time of year, when Districts get the wobbles up, and they want to straighten things up very quickly, and the best way to do that is to beat the Buffaloes.
Districts and Buffaloes live on AFLN TV from 5:35. Make sure you tune into that one. Let's have a quick look at the ladder before we go, and we can see here that St Mary's are on top of the ladder, well clear of Nightcliff. Southern Districts, well, if they lose and results go the way of the Tiwi Bombers, they could find themselves in 4th spot by the end of the round. Great. Palmerston and Wanderers are going to be battling it out for that 5th spot. The rest, unfortunately, Buffaloes and Waratah can't make it this season, bro.
That's right, it's going to get down to the wire, who wins and who loses. So if I were a football fan, I'd get out to Marara again.
Huge day at Marara, Gray, and a double header on AFL MTV, so make sure you tune in for that one. But just before we go, Gray, I thought we might have a quick chat about the Dennis Dunn Trophy. I feel that there's only really 2 players that can win it. Matthias Liddy, who plays his 50th NTFL game this weekend, and of course Darren Ewing, who is 2 goals behind him.
2 goals behind, surprisingly, although he hasn't played all that many games as the buffer Ewing. Yes, Matthias has been very good this year for the Tiwis. In his first year in a Tiwi Bomber jumper, kicked 10 goals. I remember one week against Nightcliff and kicked a bag against him a couple of weeks ago as well. So all the best for Matthias on his 50th game as well. But I still think Mr. Ewing's got a couple of things up his sleeve, don't you?
Yeah, I tend to agree, Gray. I think that's 2 votes of confidence for Big Buff, but we'll have to wait and see, and we'll have to wait and see which teams can record a win in the NTFL in round 17. Should be another cracker, Gray. Looking forward to calling the footy. Double header on AFL MTV, as we mentioned, so make sure you tune in if you can't make it. Otherwise, get down to the grounds on Saturday and Sunday. But from us here today on DK and Gray, we'll see you next week.